The library is officially open.
This show is really a sisterhood. So of course there's conflict.
I can just walk in your house and smell you can't cook.
But we have a good time.
Behind the scenes of the hottest show on the Vegas Strip.
What's the worst thing that happened? If you're not watching RuPaul's Drag Race Live Untucked, hell, you're crazy.
Premieres April 17th, only on WOW Presents Plus.
One of my favorite moments from the screeners that I got was a little glimpse to like the fan meet and greets. And so getting to see kind of the gratitude of young fans, especially who are finding themselves, get to give to the queens because they get to see themselves in a way that's celebrated, right? For both of you, I wonder, do you have a favorite fan interaction from doing the live Vegas show?
I guess I could probably say for both of us, Auntie, that when you have that one particular fan of yours personally that comes to, and we have those periodically that they come specifically for us. Mm-hmm. I've had somebody drive from do an LA drive from LA drive way down here just to see me on the show. And I think those are memorable moments that, if we had to like pinpoint like good meet and greets, it would probably be like our personal, like that number one fan that just had to come and see us on the show,
My favorite thing about any sort of like fan interaction is fan art. And like, that's like a great space where like people like to give you like a drawing that they spent time on. I just think it's just so cool and so humbling when somebody like presents you with something that like they spent outside time on. There's no like they're paying money to like come and say hi to you. And then they also like spent time on a project that like is just like filled with love. I have like an entire wall just filled with fan art that I've collected over the past few years. And that's absolutely my favorite part of any sort of like meet and greet situation.
I think my favorite would be when I've signed my name and then people get it tattooed and then they come back to the show and they show me. That's, incredible. I think when it first
they should love their bodies more. You're right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, be careful what you put on your body. But when it first happened, I was a little caught off guard. It happened years ago when I was at Divas. And I was shocked to see that can happen. And then I got really used to it over the years, touring and signing people. Sometimes they would warn me, like, I'm going to get this one tattooed tomorrow. So, make sure it's pretty.
Yeah.
And I have a beautiful signature. I practiced since I was a kid. So
I'm sure they appreciate that then.
Yes, you're in good hands.
Coco, you got very vulnerable in the first couple episodes. And I think there's a lot of personal, stories that are like interwoven into this show, which I personally really enjoy. But is there ever any hesitation to show that vulnerability, to be open with an audience, knowing that it's like it is your personal private life? Did you have any hesitation, or did it feel very natural to share?
At this point, it did feel natural. There were some times when we were filming Untucked on season 5 that those things came up, and I felt very uncomfortable for them, being aired, and so they weren't. And I'm grateful to them for that. But I feel like I owed the fans the opportunity to hear the stories about the things that I was going through even back then, because it helps someone else. So I thought it was very, very important that I, circled back to it. I didn't, you don't always get an opportunity to be able to circle back and do that. So I'm very grateful to the producers for allowing me that opportunity to express myself and do that. And they actually put it in the show. I felt great about that.
Yeah, I think it will help a lot of fans too. It's always nice to see people just being real. And I think that's what's really special about this show, is that there's like such a real component to the reality TV of it all,
I think it's important for people to get a full glimpse into our lives. And I think that the more transparent we are, the more honest we are, then the more we can connect with people. So that's why, straight out the gate on any show I've ever been on, I talk about my relationship. I talk about hardships with my family members. And I know that doesn't always make them, the most comfortable. But I also feel like people need to be held accountable for how they treat people that they are supposed to love or do love. And if Drag Race is supposed to bring families together, then I think that's the way that it needs to be seen. You know, people need to see that they've either hurt you or mistreated you to understand how it has affected you and how you can move forward from that past trauma.
It has everything the TV show does. Like, there's literally, the workroom is on stage. The main stage is like, it has all the elements that make you love Drag Race, the TV show, but it's the live version. And that's backstage, Coco saying, oh, when the crowd's bad, we have to bring the energy out of each other. That's what you see in this series, is you see queens laughing and joking to get by. That's why it's more interesting than just like a competition setting, is because this is livelihood, how you get through life. When the audience is really good, you're like, get in my vein.
Yeah.
But then when it's not, you're like, okay, Coco, your makeup, you look like you've done the ice bucket challenge with your makeup. And then Coco reads you back. And then and that's how you give each other energy.